What's up, guys and gals? Today we're going to take a look at a landmass. That's going to be the next thing that I feel like doing, but I don't really think that we need to bring along the entire Cyclops for it. So instead, I've prepared myself with a couple of batteries, and I think we're just going to head out inside the Sea Moth. I think being in safe waters, I'm not going to worry too much about the Reaper Leviathans. I don't know exactly where their roaming zones are. We may learn a lesson the hard way here. What is that right there? Like, what is that? Is that the signal right there that we're moving towards, maybe? What is that? Hold on, we need to go investigate this right now. Luckily, we've got the speed in order to do the deed, and so let us move forward while wearing tweed. And I don't know, what is this? Is that actually the location that it's maybe pinging when we use the signal? Because I didn't see that for the tree. Then again, I might just be incredibly unobservant. It's been stated in the past that that is something that I suffer from right now. You know, it's a weird thing that, like, every single time I start recording, I promise you, like, 5 people will email me instantaneously. Like, 30 text messages, maybe, like, 5 emails. 2 or 3 people will call me and just be desperate. It's like they can sense through the ether that I'm recording something and I can't be bothered right now. I can't be asked at them. I want to know what this is. I don't know what's down below me, but I'm just not going to think about it for right now. How far away are we right now from, like, everything? We might get reapered. This might not work so great. Let's keep going. That would explain the volcanic zone, though. Off in this direction, in one of the previous episodes, we had found a volcanic zone, and a landmass in this direction would actually make a lot of sense, if indeed that's what we were looking for. I can't trigger this right now. Let me see if we're getting closer. Yeah, we are. So I think that's going to be our guy right there. Oh, yeah, there it is. A landmass would make a lot of sense if indeed there was volcanics at the bottom of the ocean, because that's how seafloor and islands are created. I wonder if they've modified this place at all. Oh, there's giant floaters on the bottom of it. Look at that. Those like floater hives? What are those? They're beautiful, whatever they are. You can just stare at them all day. You kind of just want to touch them if they weren't bulging and throbbing like they might enjoy it. I don't think I'm going to play the booby on this one. Let's go and run into a wall, obviously. You gotta run into a wall, otherwise you haven't properly tested the island. Let's see if we can find an embarkation point so we can take a look at this thing, because to me, this looks a tiny bit different from the island that we had before. So let's just take a little look at it here today. I think that's going to be pretty fun in this episode. Get our eyes on some above-water organics. I wonder if there's going to be, like, on-land building later, or if that's something they're planning on implementing. I don't see any embarkation points, by the way. And we might have to go up and underneath. The old island that was over here, you actually had to do some shenanigans in order to get around it. But for right now, it looks like things are looking pretty solid. Is that it right there? Well, I thought we had like an archway or something right here that maybe we could come in through. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Little disappointed by the clipping distance. Like, the distance at which it pops in seems to be a tad too much. I don't even know if we can get onto this island right now. The hell was that? I don't know how I feel about this. What was that noise? Is it underneath me? It's underneath me, isn't it? It's always underneath me whenever I hear a noise like that. Every single time. Well, I'm actually not seeing a whole lot of ways that we can get onto the island. It looks like this is all solid. I was thinking maybe it would have like an internal pool or something like that that we could surface through. But to me, it looks like volcanics have no explanation in how this got here. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, this looks like... Oh, there it is right there. We almost missed it. Okay. Well, this does look kind of similar. Let's go have a look, shall we? Let's see what's going on over here. Ooh, they added sound effects. I don't remember there being, like, actual living sound effects before. But that'd be kind of cool if you could actually get up onto the surface here and start exploring. Oh, free spadefish. Who wants a free spadefish? I want a free spadefish. These things cost a fortune at Petco. Give me one of those things right there. Yeah. Would it be even more badass is if you could train the spadefish, and you see how it has little handles on it? You could hold onto the back of it, and you could just ride on the spadefish like an organic, I don't know, glide. It seems like it would be awesome. Is it just me? I don't know. It'd be like an organic sea glide. That would be the coolest thing ever. New sea glide made all with organics for all of your spa pleasure needs. Well, the jungle doesn't look that much different. It seems sort of similar. I don't remember the little floaters being on the bottom, though, and I remember there being like an internal lake or something around here. The cave on that side. Some enormous-ass mushrooms that probably smell terrible. Fun fact, the bigger a plant is, like, the worse it smells most of the time. It just becomes overpowering. You're like, ugh, that is a noxious fume that is pouring out of you right now. Oh, look, another spadefish. Yay, a little one. Hooray, all of the spadefish you can eat. It's a magical island of milk and honey. Well, that's metaphorical. It's a magical island of space. It's a magical island of spadefish. Huzzah! Let's have a look at this view over here. That's pretty cool. It gives you like a nice overlay. Like you can actually like look around. And you can see that. Well, anyways. I don't know. The islands thus far, I really can't wait for them to be fleshed out better because getting up on a land could be a lot of fun. I mean, you could alternate between water and earth zones. It reminds me a little bit of, you remember Mad Max on the NES where you would jump into different, or for example, Kid Chameleon on the Sega Genesis. There's a better one where you jump into different suits for different like locations and different tasks. They could do that for this game, and then all of the different flora and fauna could be researched, and you get a little bit of like a, I don't know, a Miasmata vibe in there somewhere, even though there is like deadly active stuff in this, and Miasmata was all about just like one thing chasing you through the forest. I think that they could really kind of capitalize on the fact that you're trying to do research and get things done out here, although what you're researching towards remains to be seen. If we can get to the top of the island here, we can have an even better look. I will say that I do enjoy the little hiking portions when you can get up on the island a little bit more than the normal portions, so that's pretty cool. I don't know. The water has become so passé at this point. It's so passé. It looks like there's trails. Like, why would there be trails here unless there was something beating the trails? Have the developers ever said officially that there's not going to be other creatures and other, like, groups on the islands? Something to think about. I mean, these could be animal trails, I guess. That would be the other half of it. But I think I would much rather... Can I gather these? From what I can gather, no, would be the answer. Oh, that would have been great if you could get fibers from these trees up and in here. I bet that's probably what they're leaning towards. Obviously, they'll have to come up with some kind of threat to be, you know, on the mountains and on the hilltops. I mean, the ocean's a pretty dangerous place already, and so in order to balance this out, it's going to have to be fairly freaky once you get up in here, too. Maybe these are going to be for mining zones or something like that later on, these little caves and these little inlets. Just speculation. Lots of cool things you could do with this location. I don't see anything else in any direction, but it's a beautiful island. Might be a little bit susceptible to monsoon season, though. Depending. There's a lot of volcanics down below, which means that you're in an active tectonic zone, which means earthquakes might happen, too. Might have, like, a little tsunami warning in this area. Something to freak you out every now and again. Let's see what's up this mountain over here, because we got nothing better to do, and I enjoy hiking. I haven't been for a hike in a long-ass time. I need to. I need to go for another, just a big 10, 15, 20 miler, like, straight up the side of a mountain like this. Just, like, free climbing the bastard. Get myself all nice and toned back up. I don't think there's fall damage, so if there's no fall damage, we can reasonably be sure that there's no spring damage either. Winter damage? Yay, we levitate. Oh, look, more hoverfish or spadefish. I don't know why I want to call those hoverfish, but you know what? We've got, like, our meals secured forever. You can eat them raw and nothing goes wrong. Well, that's the best form of sustenance ever. Okay. And then what goes straight through here? That's the only thing that we really haven't investigated yet. Anything? I'm wondering, so in the next episode or the next release, they're putting in the exosuit, I think. If you haven't heard about it, this game is going to have a mecha suit pretty soon that actually docks inside your Cyclops as well and is dropped out of the bottom. I don't know what it's for. They've mentioned that it's for really, really, really deep zones. I don't know if it sinks to the bottom or how that works or how resilient it's going to be versus things like the Reaper. But it's a new vehicle that you're going to be able to play around with, which is pretty badass. I guess the island still doesn't have much to offer, which is disappointing. I was hoping there would be something out here. I think that the spadefish, I mean, it was worth it for the free spadefish, although I could have got those from the other zone that we were in. A little bit disappointed by it, but at the same time, hopefully it'll fill out in the future and it'll be a little bit more useful. For now, I think we're going to bail out. They added those, I don't remember those jelly things being along the bottom before. Makes you wonder what's at the bottom at this point. Maybe we should dive down and check. Just like see what we come across. I don't know if it's going to be dangerous or not, but we can go have a look. Grab a spadefish from over here. Grab another spotted fish from right there. Jump up in the sea moth. Yeah, let's go for it. Something bad might happen when I do this, but I'm going to try it. I am going to try it. Never let it be said that I am of a timid sort, unless it comes to Reaper Leviathans coming out of the blackness like we're in right now. Looks like it's actually just the bottom of the seafloor right here, and you'd never really be able to tell. There are still spadefish swimming around. Looks like there's lithium and lots of salt out here. I may take a second. What's my inventory looking like? Because we need salt. Like, I am almost out of salt in the area where we started, so if there's a whole bunch of it over here, I will take it. Yes, please. All of the salt that you can give me. No, not sand. I don't need that right now. I've already got a lot of sand. Lots of lithium, too, although I don't think you need lithium, really. I should probably get focused on making a rebreather as well. The stone type looks different over here, so I'm willing to bet that we may not have been over in this area. Let's go have a look. Let's see what we can find. I enjoy exploring in this game. I mean, they said that that's the point of the game anyways, is exploration. Like, there's lots of other random things that sort of determine the trajectory of your exploration. Yeah, I think this is a new biome. This appears to be some kind of coral bed. Looking at it right there. Some kind of coquina-like stone down in here. I don't know, though. Let's keep going deeper, shall we? Hopefully you don't die. You used to die when you hit the edge of the map. I really, or at least the game would crash. That's what it was. Maybe we have been out here. There's another sea ball right there. Couple of them, in fact. I mean, I would make a joke about them being blue, but I feel like we're already towing the edge as it is. Ow. No! Sabotage. Defeated by a sea ball. Some slithery noises. I don't know if there's going to be land sharks down in here, or what we're watching out for, but let's be careful as we explore. Are those interactable right there? I don't think that they are. They look like they stick out like they're just a part of the landscape. But let's keep looking around. I do think that we've been here before. Maybe. Or maybe this is a biome that hasn't fully been figured out yet. Maybe it hasn't been fleshed out. I don't know. Looks like that's just about the edge of it right there. I brought extra batteries, so don't worry about anything going wrong. We should be alright as far as electricity goes. My worry is that at a certain point you hit the edge of the map and it just instantaneously like causes you to memory error out and crash. Like, what is this right here? Where is this going? Well, still pretty deep down under the ocean. I think at 1,200, like, at 300 meters, I don't know if you could see sunlight anymore. It's a little bit bright down here. I think once you're that far down, it's got to get pretty dark. Looks like we still got some salt or whatever in here that can be used. Are we full up on it? If we're not full up on it, hell, I'll use this as an opportunity to get myself some free salt. Yes, sir. This will get us well into the future. It's weird how adding salt to your food in this game, like, increases its ability to hydrate you. I guess electrolytes, maybe? I don't know. We're losing oxygen, not in spades. We're losing oxygen in decent amounts, though. About 3 seconds per one, so, got like a little bit of a 3 for action going on right now. Okay. Well, we can continue to explore and just see what we find out here. Straight down this little canyon. We'll call it our own personal Kessel run. Yeah. Oh, this is so epic. And I think eventually, this looks like we've hit some kind of like sandstone spot or something. What is this? I hear vague. I mean, it looks like we've got some kind of ripping or tearing action going on right here. Maybe some kind of fault line, maybe? What type of fault line? Okay, so we're in a volcanic zone. The music change has cued me off. It's better than being teed off. I mean, you can be cued off or you can be teed off. Whichever you prefer. How deep can the sea moth go without exploding? We're about to find out. Let's deep dive this thing. Went straight to the center of the earth if we can manage it. Probably should have brought a rebreather for this, but oh well. Hindsight's 20/20. Why hindsight always adds up to 40, I don't know. It's an old saying. Wow, we're getting down there. Surprised this thing hasn't exploded yet. This is more than likely what the exosuit's going to be for. I think they mentioned that it's for really, really deep diving. We might not actually find anything down here. It's playing the music like we're in the volcanic zone, but maybe we're not. We're deep down enough now where the sea moth can't even reckon where up is. Does this just keep going? We've been going down for a while right now. It's a pretty good dive. The water's developed kind of like a viscous sound when you're going downwards. I don't see anything. I did bring extra batteries, right? Oh no, this runs on power cells, doesn't it? Well, since it runs on power cells, energy is holding out. I mean, it's not that bad. I would love to see where this puts us, but I just don't know that this is going to be successful. We still have not found the bottom, so 1,800 meters is a pretty good dive without ever hitting anything else. What's that right there? Oh, it's just that, never mind. Once you get deep down into the ocean enough, every little bump and like nook and cranny, it looks like this is actually some kind of sea shelf that drops off right here, and these do actually exist where the end of the continental shelf will just end and it just drops off. Gets pretty deep from there on in. Let's head back to the surface for right now. I think it's probably the smarter idea. We're almost out of electricity. We've got a little bit of time in front of us. I'll come back once we get back to the Cyclops. I think I'm going to disembark on this adventure. We'll figure out something we can do after this. Whether or not it's going to another biome or exploring, I don't know that you'll actually be able to reach the bottom of this right here. Some other player who's actually like, I brought the wrong thing with me. That's the biggest thing, is I brought a couple of batteries with me thinking that they would work for this, and then now my brain just snapped into place like, wait, you can't use batteries for that. And so now I gotta go back and get power cells. We'll let this charge, but I don't know. If I could find my way back out here, I'd love to give it another go, but I remember running into something like this along the time of the game release where you could just dive forever, and I went really, really deep, down to like 3,000 or something like that. So part of me wonders if it just endlessly goes downwards, like it just never ends, so I don't know. Alright, so we made it back with 4% energy left. That was a close one. Let's redock this thing real fast so I can get all nice and charged on up. And for right now, I think what we could do, we have about, I don't know, like 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes left in the episode. We could probably play around with the rebreather, which I think is a good plan. I really still think that we should put some kind of casing around that, just in case. I mean, I'm not trying to be punny right there. That seems like a hand hazard. It seems like you might end up hurt. We've got that right there. Power upgrade module still looking good, making sure it's not going anywhere because I read about a bug where it randomly goes away on you. So what did we need? Oh yeah, we needed to take a look. And let's see, it's going to be under personal tools. Got the terraformer. Is it under this? It might be under maybe equipment. There we go. That seems to be a little bit more suitable. So we got pipes, compasses, thermometers. That might not be it. Rebreather, where are you? Let's see. Builder, welder, stasis rifle. I'm going to have to go through each and every one of these, aren't I? You can have flares. I kind of want to play around with those. We haven't tried them yet. And at this point, we're just looking. There it is. A wiring kit and silicone. So a wiring kit. What's that? Oh, it just takes 2 silver ore. Oh, we got that. We got that by the ass right now. Take all of my ill-begotten salt gains from the bottom of the ocean and throw those up inside of the chest. There's really no reason, honestly, there's really no reason to actually make a sea base at this point in the game, I don't think. Unless you're making it way down at the bottom of the ocean so that you can gather materials and then ferry them upwards, maybe. Even so, it seems unlikely. Let's go with... I need silicone, so obviously we're going to have to hunt down an extra quartz or 2 before that's going to work. We got batteries. Okay, so that looks good. Let me refuel this guy over here because it looks like our electricity is a little bit low on the Cyclops, even though we haven't really been using it for much, aside from fueling our sea moth. I'll probably just use the sea glide from here on out, just the next, like, episode or 2 while we gather stuff up. I'm just going to try and grab things while we run around. So we needed a wiring kit. which is 2 silver. Throw the lithium in there. Titanium. Where was the silver at? There it is. There's our 2 silvers. So let's get the wiring kit going. Is silver... I don't know what you would use silver wiring for. Silver's not a conductor, is it? I know that copper and gold are really good conductors, but silver's one that I've never actually heard about. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. But I don't recall conductivity being mentioned with silver in the same word. I could be wrong. Always could be wrong. I mean, you should always leave no doubt in your mind that there's silicone. Okay. So let's go track down the silicone real fast. This should be decently easy, I hope. I don't know. Quartz has gotten kind of scarce around here. I've pretty much farmed out the large majority of, like, all of these areas. Left a bunch of stuff in there. I'm going to see if I can outswim the crash. There we go. And now that the crash is blown, what I want is the crash jelly out of here. You can just take, like, infinite crash meal. Okay. Let's make some flares then. Flares will be fun. I enjoy magnesium flares. If you've never played around with flares, I highly recommend the experience. They're a lot of fun. Flares are the best. Let's make ourselves some new gear. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to hold down the shift key while I do this because my viewers told me in the comments. People say that I don't read my comments. I do. I try. It's just, it's difficult sometimes. Oh, man. My flares are falling on the floor, aren't they? Yep, flares done fell on the floor. I have too much crash meal. Did they go straight through the bottom, or are they stuck up inside the ship like they were previously? I think they might be stuck up inside the ship. Let's drop all the crash meal, because we don't need it. Oh, I do need you. You come back. Hey, nope, don't prick me. It tried to stab me. You see that? My own knife just tried to stab me. Betrayal. Horrible, horrible betrayal by an object that's supposed to be my friend. Yeah, it sounds like the flares are actually still wrapped up inside the deck somewhere. I would recommend the developers probably sort that one out, things falling through the deck of this thing while you use it, just because it's a little bit of a pain to get them out. They will come up to the front eventually, if you keep fiddling with them. I don't know, this is usually how I wiggle them out right here. It actually doesn't look like it's working this time. I think they might be stuck in there. There they are. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where did it put me? Okay, so let's grab you guys. Yep, come with me. It's fine. Do you stack? You do not stack. So we only get 1 flare out for each. Okay. Alright, so we only get 1 flare out. I was hoping for a flare up, but whatever. We'll play around with this in just... There it is. I was going to say, there's got to be another one in here somewhere. There always is. Is there still one? Or is that it? I think we got it. Nope, there's still another one, it sounds like. Let's go ahead and go forward back towards our pod, and then I'll back up real aggressively. It sounds like we still got another flare back up in there. If you were wondering, this is how you get them unstuck from your ship. You just go forward, then you reverse a whole lot. That's pretty much it. And then if you still can't get it out, you wiggle a little bit like so. Just give it a little bit of the old action. There we go. And so now your sub won't... Finding it hard to tell if I'm backing into stuff now. I think we're good. I think we got it all out. A little bit of a waste of electricity, but... Ah, well. What are you going to do? And so now we need to track down a couple of quartz. That's pretty much it. A couple of quartz of what? A couple of quartz of quartz. How would you even know what somebody's saying? Quartz, quartz. Courting, quartz, quartz. Huh? Jump out right there. So how does this thing work? Well, let me use a flare real fast. I'm going to go out here and do it. I throw you, magnesium flare. Cool. I mean, I guess. Seems a little lackluster, but yeah, you should go play with a flare if you've never done it before, because I'm a good influence, and obviously I'm trying to make your parents' lives harder. But yep, used to play with flares all the time. They were fun. You used to be able to just buy them. I don't know if you still can, or if you have to be 18 or what. I don't know. There's lots of like ordinances and like rules and things nowadays that didn't exist when I was a kid. And compared to the rules that didn't exist when my dad was a kid, it always really surprises me. Like, my upbringing seems downright safe compared to growing up in the 60s and 70s when everything was made out of lead and like random radioactive materials. Still, seems like their toys were a lot more fun back then. Please don't blow me up, Crash. There we go. Another one bites the dust. I still see no quartz around here. I think that the respawn rates might need a little bit of tailoring done because I have a lot of trouble tracking these things down after I've been playing for. There's one right there. And I'm pretty good at seeing them. I don't know if you saw that one in the bush, but I saw it. Probably use some copper too. So while we're here, while we're in the neighborhood, I'm probably going to end up making a few more batteries pretty soon and also some more power cells. So it never hurts to be prepared. Be prepared. I listened to the Scar song. When Scar was singing, I was on it. I've always felt like bad guys are always way better than good guys in movies. They have to be. Because, for example, if the bad guy wasn't awesome, what's going to motivate the good guy to do anything anyways? Like, if you don't have a good antagonist, you only have half of a protagonist. Ooh. Here's a crevice that I appear to have missed over time. Every now and again, I find one of these while I'm tooling around, but it's rare. It's rare anymore. I'll grab that one, too, and we'll just store it all up for later. This rebreather is going to be pretty badass. Supposedly, how it works is it negates the penalties you get for being deep down underwater, so you can actually dive down to like 9,000, whatever, as deep as you want to go, and as long as you got the rebreather, you are good. I do think... Ew. So yeah, anyways, we got enough quartz right now to where I think we can head on back to the fab. That was not a good noise. Oh, it was just one of those guys over there. Okay. The clubby-ass tails. Alright, well, let's go back, shall we? I guess the two signals are pinged, and how I never noticed that before when we were sailing around, I don't know. Must have been being extra obtuse. A little bit more copper, just in case, but as you can tell, I've pretty much picked all the nodes off of all of these walls. I do a lot of farming in between episodes to make this stuff all happen. It's a lot sometimes. Like, you have to just tool around and wait for respawns, or just hope that they're around. I don't know. I think it might be time for a migration to a new zone, but haven't been brave enough to do it yet. I think there's a little bit of copper left at our sea base that I might have left down there, but it's kind of a long swim to get at something that we don't need right this second readily. I mean, we've got the stuff we need. I guess let's just make the rebreather. We got a little bit of time left, and I want to play around with it, so I want to see what we can get out of this thing. Let's go back to the ship. We will make the rebreather, and once the rebreather has been made, we will then call it a day. So there we go. I got the equipment right there. I need silicone. There it is. Make ourselves some silicone. I'm going to save the rest of the quartz because it's become very, very short in supply. So we got that. Copper ore is also becoming a little bit more difficult to come by anymore. Got a bunch of flares, but I'll go play with those in the darker areas later on. I don't know if they scare off enemies or not, but seems like they might. We've got equipment right here. A rebreather. Okay, so what did that do? Where does it go? Is it a mouthpiece, maybe? Yeah, it's a mouthpiece, it looks like. So we'd have to get rid of our radiation helmet, but they said the radiation should dissipate within 2 days anyways. So maybe keeping the suit on was not the best plan to begin with. I'm going to keep my hand covering on, though. It feels safer. Cool. And so it looks like it's about time for me to build another locker in here, too. But we'll do that in the next episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Subnautica. I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Hi, do, and I will see you there, everybody.